That's the first topic of the day, baby. Should the Miami Dolphins consider another quarterback in the draft, considering the performance of Tua Tagovailoa in the 2020 season?
Maybe in the late round to be his backup, but I mean,
Exactly.
you're telling me the Miami Dolphins with 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a year where we were basically one game away from going to the playoffs when, quite frankly, we shouldn't have been even really been in the contention for the playoffs. In a year where if you extrapolate his statistics over a 16-game season, his his numbers for the season would have been closer to 20 touchdowns to about 11 interceptions.
No passes given.
So you're telling me that you have not seen enough from him on the field in terms of
No.
his work ethic that you want to say, you know what, another like an actual offseason where he's not rehabbing and he's actually with the coaches and not with the offensive coordinator who just resigned, but an offensive coordinator that's actually brought in for him, not Ryan Fitzpatrick. Quite frankly, no. I'm not. It may be in the later rounds if you're trying to groom a backup, but no, I'm not looking for quarterbacks. I'm looking to build this team, to build the rest of this team out. Because we have clear deficiencies. When you got 12 drops in one game and you give up 56 points, I'm not looking at the quarterback as hard as the other positions.
Well, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guarantee you, people were saying the same thing about Peyton Manning when he threw 20-something interceptions in one season. But I guess he wasn't the one.
Yeah, man. And some
And they drafted it low enough to get Edward James the next year.
and something that's really bothering me is when I hear the word bust come up, because when you talk about bust, right, you're talking about Ryan Leaf, right? You're talking about Jamarcus Russell. You're talking about Achilles Smith. You're talking about guys who literally are not starting NFL quarterbacks. They're not even NFL quarterbacks, quite frankly. And for a dude that have basically almost a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, yo,
Look at the track record of the Dolphins, though. You traded for Josh Rosen. Sorry, Vaughn, I got to bring this up. You traded for Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
And then you ended up shipping him out the next year. So
we didn't even ship him out. We released him.
Yeah, and the thing is, well, my friend, he was so excited about this trade. I was like, bro, why would you waste such a valuable pick on somebody who's not going to be on the team? He's not. He wasn't that efficient in college, and then he didn't work out of Arizona. So they salvaged what they could. They got a second round pick out of us. I think they stole from us.
That was definitely worth a second round pick. It's a
He was not worth a
player.
second round pick. If you look at the track record of the Dolphins and their second round picks, they usually turn out to be great players. You got Xavier Howard. You got the receiver he played for the Browns now. I can't think of his name.
Oh, Jarvis
Landry.
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry. Like, usually the Dolphins do real good with second round picks. Even this year's second round pick, Raekwon Davis, is a pretty solid player. So to waste a pick on a
Kinley's a fourth rounder.
Kinley?
I thought Kinley was a second rounder. No,
he's a fourth rounder.
No. Hunt was a second rounder.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they do really good with the second round picks, and I feel like they gave that pick away, and then it didn't pan out. And I'm not nothing against Rosen. He's a very smart guy, but I just don't believe he will make it in the NFL. He's definitely not better than Tua. He's definitely not as efficient as Tua. He's more prone to turn over the ball. I know Tua had a bad game, but he was just trying to make
bad game.
Yeah, he was trying to make things happen.
He had a bad couple of games.
I don't think
that's an overstatement.
I don't think it's an overkill. I think besides the Arizona Cardinals game, Tua has not looked impressive in his starts. This honestly, and it started with the Los Angeles Rams game. Even though y'all beat us,
yeah, exactly.
10 out of 10 due to Jared Goff, and y'all defense played amazing that game. But besides the Arizona Cardinals game, I don't think Tua looked in control. That's just my feedback on you guys. I feel like Tua. It's not to say he's not the guy, because maybe he is. But from what I've seen from film perspective, he didn't seem like he was ready for the moment. That's just
But
me.
he showed flashes, Banks. He showed flashes.
Yeah.
What
Oh, of
flashes?
course. I mean,
Flashes,
What
yeah, he did
flashes you
flash.
see?
Yeah, he shows you
Come
enough
on,
that
DeVore.
you want to bring him
Come on,
back,
DeVore.
and you want to see with a whole off. You gotta understand. There's something we gotta understand.
No, have it. You no passes.
No.
given,
There's
no
something.
passes given.
There's something
No,
that
no
we
passes
gotta.
given.
There's something that we gotta understand.
I'm listening.
When you're looking, and I know no one can objectively talk about Tua anymore. Like it's just done. No one can even objectively talk about him anymore. But I would say from a rookie quarterback, you're just looking for him to give you enough that you want to bring him back next season and see what he has what he has to offer. That's what you want from a rookie. That's what you want from any rookie, quite frankly.
Banks,
Are you showing me
hear
enough?
out.
Yeah, are you showing me enough that I'll bring you back? But yeah,
He hasn't shown me nothing.
Exactly. But hear me out, Banks.
Okay,
showed you a whole lot of wins.
Hear me
but
out.
I'm gonna say this about Tua, right? He played well in Arizona. He also played well in the Kansas City game. He threw for the most passing yards of his career in the Kansas City game, and he tried to bring us back. Now the defense couldn't hold their end of the bargain, but you can't fault Tua for that. He had a slow start. It seems like when they opened up the offense, he started playing better. And then on top of that, you had 2 games where we didn't have none of our top receivers. We had Jakeem Grant out. We had Park out. He's hurt every year. It's always something wrong with his hamstring for some reason. I mean, it's just he didn't have no weapons.
I tell you what, he was doing so good. He was doing so well. Go ahead.
Before you start, let's go to Wes real quick. I think Wes has something to say.
Okay.
My bad, Shake. Hold that thought.
Oh, well, hear me out, Banks. The guy showed flashes in those games he was just talking about. Now, if you look the previous year, look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen did the same. He showed flashes, but when he got in that big moment, he folded. Honestly. You telling me that same thing can't happen to Tua, and we talking about Tua next year as a top 10 maybe quarterback?
Right.
I do remember.
Go ahead.
After Josh Allen's first year, they were talking about trying to throw him into the dumpster. So they glad they didn't do that.
Now we talking about a top 5 guy,
An MVP candidate.
MVP candidate, probably almost. He should be like maybe third. Cause you got to go Aaron Rodgers and then obviously
Mahomes.
Yeah. So
Go ahead,
I mean.
The only thing I wanted to bring up was the Kansas City game in the fourth quarter, right? If Tua was doing so bad, they would have punted the ball to us because, like, you know what? You ain't going to score. But they chose to go for it on 4th down because they knew Tua was playing with a hot hand, and we can't give Tua back the ball because if they score at least 1 touchdown with the extra point, they were going to win.
How many of those flashes have y'all ever seen from Josh Rosen?
I'm still looking for it. I'm still looking for these flashes from Josh Rosen.
Okay.
So why we been comparing Josh? Why we rate Josh Rosen and
we see again. We talking specifically about Tua and his.
He doesn't want to talk about Rosen anymore. He's done.
That's what we're talking about. So if we want to go back to this Kansas City Chiefs game, Shake, because everybody and Vaughn too that want to go back to this Kansas City Chiefs game, we shouldn't have been. The score shouldn't have been the way that it was because we was spotted 14 points, and you couldn't, and we kept. How many turnovers the Chiefs had?
The Chiefs scored 21 points in 3 minutes. What are you talking about?
They have 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers.
They scored 21 points in 3 minutes.
If you want to include, hold on, have it. And if you want to include that 30-yard sack loss that Patrick Mahomes had, that's 5 turnovers. So if my math is correct, we had, what was the score by halftime? 17-14? Was it something like that?
I don't think so. I think they scored all them points in the second quarter, right?
No, it was all in the second half. We was
Second
up.
to third quarter. Okay.
We was up. So explain to me on all those other drives that the Miami Dolphins defense put the Miami Dolphins offense in scoring distance. Why couldn't the Dolphins offense capitalize on that?
So the
score at the end,
the score at the end of halftime for the Chiefs Dolphins games was Chiefs 14, Dolphins 10. And then in the third quarter, the Chiefs went up 30-10, and then the Dolphins scored 17 points in the fourth quarter.
That's even worse, Havoc, because you already threw 2 picks in the first half, and you was already in scoring distance. So why are you down by 4 points?
DeVore, I have to explain this to you.
No, you do not.
He listens. DeVore listens with closed ears. That's what happens.
And you know what? And this is, and quite frankly, this is actually quite emblematic of our country right now, where we have people who refuse to believe facts. We have people who refuse to accept reality.
Oh my God!
And we have to understand something. You cannot hold up a rookie on and this is for everyone that was a supporter of him and people who hate him like you. You cannot put him up on a pedestal and be like, save us. That's not
what you mean? The defense saved him every single freaking drive.
Exactly.
What did we where did we invest in the offseason? Where did we invest damn near all of our money in? The defense, right?
Defense.
This is how this team wins games. Defense first. That's how this team wins games.
Correct.
Okay.
But the thing is, though, Havoc, you are in scoring distance. Scoring distance. Why do you have 10 points if you're in scoring distance? That means you're telling me that you screwed up somewhere where you couldn't kick at least a field goal.
So do me a favor, DeVore. Call up Chan Gailey, who is sitting at his house without a job, and ask him. Ask him.
That's what I'm talking about.
No,
ask him.
He's a Chan Gailey apologist too.
Ask him. Because he's sitting at his house with nothing but time. So go ask him.
Vaughn,